The king has spoken. Hey, this is Lacey, your Las Vegas gal. I'm here with my sweet friend Trace Askew. We just did a video recently that we released called, what was it, the Anthem Country Club Driving Tour, right? If you liked it, you're right on, you're our friend. If you haven't even watched it yet, go to the description below, click on the link. You're gonna love it. We drove through one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in all of Henderson and Las Vegas.
Yeah, beautiful.
Happens to be right by her house because she's a little bit bougie sometimes. Anyway, we're here celebrating Trace's 1-year anniversary for moving to Las Vegas.
Yep, it's been a year.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Where'd you move from?
So I moved from Baltimore. I was born in New Jersey, but lived in Maryland pretty much my whole life. And we made the big move out here almost exactly a year ago, June 1st. And it was really like the best decision I ever made for myself. So super excited.
And part of what you did was we were starting to do research about looking at houses before you moved here. So today's video is actually to celebrate and commemorate your 1-year anniversary, but also to help you who might also be thinking about relocating across country or even just to the state next door. Tracy's got some great tips. We came up with a list for you today, so we figured we'd give you some tips. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Tip number 1 is always a little bit selfish, but it's for good reason. Find yourself a trustworthy real estate professional.
Very important.
You're looking at 2 pretty awesome ones right here, but truly finding someone who you can trust, who is really interested in your best experience, your life, what it's going to be like when you live here is really, really important. We take a lot of pride in doing that. We spend a lot of time talking about our clients' needs before we make decisions to show them certain houses. So choose your best real estate professional, and you can always call us. Link below, wink, wink, nod, nod. If you want to reach out to us, there's a link below in the description for a link to our form.
All right, so number 2 is that you want to really do your research beforehand on what areas you're interested in, what things are most important to you, whether it's schools, certain amenities that are available, whatever type of lifestyle that you're looking for coming out here. Do all that research ahead of time so you at least have a pretty good idea of what areas you want to check out while you're here.
And that's something that we have a lot of fun helping people, work through. We know this area very, very well. I've been here 30 years. You're new, but you've got up to speed really quickly. It's actually pretty impressive. I don't know. It's all that driving back in Baltimore, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and doing this job definitely helps. We get to really see every corner of the city.
Yeah, so we do a lot of really good hand-holding. We really make sure that you don't move to an area we wouldn't move to, but we want to know what your life is like so that we can help you fulfill that, because Vegas offers a lot as far as neighborhoods go and experiences, right?
Yeah, there's so many different types of lifestyles that you can live here. So that's very important to share that with your real estate professional. Let them know what is the most important thing for you, and then they can help guide you as to where you should maybe start looking.
To number 3 on our list, make a list of wants and needs. Now, that's not the first thing we want to hear from you when you call, right? It's sometimes, and I know that, when people call from our videos, sometimes it's, hi Lacey, so excited to talk to you, or hi Trace, so excited that I got to meet you. So I want 3-bedroom, 2-bath, We love that you know what you want, but let's talk a little bit more about what you need and what you truly envision in your home. We don't just need the 3-bedroom, 2-bath, we want a pool, we don't want a pool. We want to know a little bit more about you and what your life is going to require, so that if a bedroom downstairs is something that's a non-negotiable, we know that going in, and we'll do our best to really filter the houses as we can.
Right. Certain things we can filter, certain things we can't. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of digging and looking through the pictures of the listings. But a lot of things we can just filter out of the search completely and make sure that you're really only seeing the homes that are going to work for you.
And it's a true partnership. So, every now and then it'll be me and a Trace coming to work with you directly. Every now and then you might just get me, you might just get Trace, you might get Steve, someone else on the team. But what's amazing is we all still collectively talk about each of our clients. So even if you just have one person assigned to work with you, trust me and know our entire team is very well invested. We all know your story, and we're actually really all personally involved. You just only get to see maybe 1 or 2 of us. So just know there's like 10 for the price of 1 is what we kind of offer here with the Cerrone Group. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Okay, so the 4th one is then once you have your real estate professional and you've picked somebody, hopefully it's one of us on the Cerrone Group, but whoever it is, at that point you're gonna wanna schedule a trip. Sometimes it happens that people will call and say, hey, I'm gonna be there next week. And while we're super excited by that, sometimes it can be a little tricky with just working out all the timing. So the best thing to do is to schedule that with your real estate agent and make sure that they're gonna be available and can really give you their undivided attention while you're here.
Yeah.
To piggyback on that, another tip that I would give as far as timing your trip is to make sure that you're going to be here for like the end of the week, including the weekend. Sounds kind of like a no-brainer because a lot of people like to travel on a weekend, but everyone's work schedules are different.
Yeah.
You definitely want to be here towards the end of the week though, because a lot of new listings hit Thursday, Friday, something like that.
Yeah.
So that way, if what you planned on seeing doesn't work out, you may have some extras that pop up on the market.
We had to learn this kind of the hard way. For a while there, we had clients who were coming in and they just wanted to take advantage of the lower hotel pricing kind of midweek. They wanted to arrive on a Tuesday or maybe a Monday. It just makes it really frustrating and hard because a lot of times people put houses on the market Thursday, Friday. By Monday morning, they might be gone. And so you may have gone all weekend favoriting these awesome homes you think you're going to see, but by Monday you're down to 2 or 3. So we've had to kind of learn that the hard way.
Yep.
Another thing that's really important to just when you're scheduling that trip and when you're looking at it is, you know, the sooner you reach out to us, the better. We have clients that we've been talking to for a year who are still not planning to buy for another 2 or 3 years. They just like talking, they like checking in with us. They want to know that everything's gonna be okay when they get here. Please do that. It's okay. We would love to hear from you sooner rather than later. So it's never too soon to reach out. In fact, that's how I got to meet this gorgeous beauty sitting next to me. I was saying it was an Instagram story, right?
Yeah, I watched Lacey on Instagram. That is how I found her. And I was actually afraid to reach out because I wasn't quite ready to pull the trigger on like making plans to move yet. I still had to list my house and all these things. Yeah. And she kept saying, you know, it's okay to reach out even if you're not ready. And so that's what made me give her a call. Yeah. So that's exactly the right thing to do. You're not wasting anyone's time. This is a big decision and a big process. So it's like she said, it's never too early.
And we try to be different from other real estate professionals by offering that as a service. We never want to say anything negatively about our counterparts in the industry, but it's just not very common to find people who are willing to spend time and energy on you unless you're ready to buy right now. So we just don't operate that way. It's very important to us that we are with you, holding your hand as long as we need to make sure that you're making the right decision.
Absolutely.
Tip number 5, speak to a lender before you get here.
Yes.
So that's like the only deal breaker, non-negotiable. We're not taking you to see houses unless we know you are approved for a loan. And there's a couple reasons why. You know, some people become very frustrated by that because they come into Vegas, they want to pop around and look at homes, and they feel like, you know, that we should be available to make that happen. But out of respect for the homeowner who's looking to sell their home, out of respect for our own time, and out of respect for yours, we just don't believe in wasting people's times or getting people's hopes up unless we know that you are potentially ready to actually buy. So doesn't mean we won't show you around the city, doesn't mean we won't help you understand neighborhoods and help you explore, but when it comes to walking through a door into a home, anything but model homes, obviously, anything that's not brand new, we have to have a pre-approval beforehand. It also just makes us make sure that you're on the right track, you're ready to go. We're looking at homes that are priced appropriately within your budget. And then beyond that, you know, we don't want anybody's heart being broken, falling in love with a house that's a little bit more expensive than they want, or whatever that looks like. So please get approved before you move here, or before you come here. And we can always help you get connected with some trustworthy people that we work with here in town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So tip number 6 is to try to narrow down the areas that you are interested in. We talked a little bit about figuring out what areas you want to see based on what your needs are, but it helps sometimes to kind of narrow down that, and your agent can absolutely help you do that based on what it is that's most important to you. The other thing I would add to that is that once you start making a list of homes you want to see, definitely add a few extras in there. If there are ones that you're kind of like, oh, maybe, I don't know, throw them on the list, because it's always good to have more choices to go with rather than too little.
Especially if you're kind of shrunk for time, we want to make sure we maximize that time. And like we said before, houses, they can go fast if they're good ones. And if you're in love with it from afar, someone locally is probably in love with it locally. So, yeah, good point. Okay, tip number 7, and this is a doozy. This is a big one. Some people don't quite know how to handle this one, so I'm bringing the heat. Here we go. Tip number 7 is you better be ready to make decisions when you get here. So if you're naturally an indecisive person, I need you to do yourself a favor. Let your agent know that up front. Just be very open. We can help to guide you to your decision and help you eliminate things from the list, but it's really tough when we know we've got 4 days. We don't want you coming in with that stress of, I have to find a house in 4 days, but we also don't want you coming in thinking, I'm gonna look at every house I can, and then I'll sleep on it and go home and then make a decision. It just doesn't work like that here in Vegas, at least not in the market that we're in right now.
Not these days. Yeah. Unfortunately, things are moving. Well, fortunately, depending on which side of the table you're on, but things are moving very quickly. And it's not to stress anybody out that we say this, but we just want you to have realistic expectations. And we don't want, like we said before, you to fall in love with something and think you have all this time to wait making a decision, and then somebody else snatches it out from under you.
We are not the team that's going to push you to make a quick decision.
No.
We are the team who's going to healthily remind you of timelines and that there might be other offers or other factors coming into play. Be ready to fall in love with more than one home. I think that's a really good plan because sometimes they fall out from under you, so you have to make sure you have those backups. So that was actually the last point of that point. I was just going to say, be ready to make decisions. And once you get to a place to where, okay, we've narrowed it down, we're down to like 2 or 3 houses we think are going to work, make sure you rank them in your favorite order and go after them with vigor, each and every one of them. And your realtor, your real estate professional, especially if they're on our team, can help you walk through that process.
Absolutely.
So we hope this helped you a little bit. Congratulations on your 1 year of living in Vegas. I can't believe it's been here. It feels like it's been longer.
I don't, it's weird. It feels like I've lived here forever, but it also feels like it just happened.
I know.
I don't know. I'm so comfortable here that it feels like home. It did immediately, but it's just crazy that a year has flown by.
Congratulations on the 1 year. Best year of my life, I can tell you right now. She's amazing. If you want to know what happens after you go in contract, we would happily make a video about that. We don't want to just make it though if we don't know that this is what you want. So if you want us to make a video talking a little bit more about, okay, what happens next after we find the house we want and we put an offer and we go home, what happens next? We want to walk you through that. So if you're interested, do me a favor, comment below and say, I'm interested in what happens next. And we'll be sure to make that video and put it up quickly so that you can kind of get a full picture of the before, the during, and then hopefully the after, which looks a little bit like this girl right here.
Hey.
So again, do us a favor. If you like this video, comment, let us know you liked it. Please be sure to go down to the description, click on the link to look at our previous video, our beautiful Anthem Country Club driving tour. Subscribe to Miss Trace's channel here. You can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like, comment. I'm just basically telling you to do all the YouTube stuff. If you could do that for us, that would be great. Otherwise, we really appreciate you hanging with us. We're here for you. We'd love to be your Vegas resources, and we'll talk to you soon.